Hi, everyone. I'm Miss Maples. I have your student for English 11 this term, either first, third, or fourth period. I decided to do a video because if you are unable to come to the back to school night via the Google Meet link, you can view this and then still get the same information. Also, I decided to make this video so I could play it during the Google Meet link and then be free to answer any questions needed during chat. I will try to go quickly and not be too long-winded. Here's the Google Meet link, and here is the schedule for tonight in case you need it. So welcome. Please write your name first and last in the chat, and the name of your student who is in my class, and the best memory you have from an English class. I hope you have one. So if you can all take a second, if you're in the Google Meet right now, to do that. It'll be a way for me to get to know all of you a little bit better. And then I have a list of who came to the virtual presentation. Okay, as far as contacting me, the best way to get a hold of me is via email. I check it often throughout the day, in the evening, and I will respond quickly within 24 hours, probably much sooner during the week. So please contact me if you have any questions. Contact me if your student is out on quarantine and they have questions about the work. Contact the school too to let them know that. Ask me any questions you have about the class. If you're not sure if they turned in an assignment, if you just want to check in about their behavior or their work ethic, please send me emails. I think it's really important for us to communicate. It's a huge key to success for students. If a student has to go out on quarantine, they only need to complete the assignments that are posted in Google Classroom. And they all know that. I have told them that. So that is something I'm doing to make it a little bit more doable. They access Google Classroom. I have daily class slides so they can read it and know exactly what we're doing in class. And then they just complete the assignments from Google Classroom. They'll be excused from any handouts that I give during class and the daily warm up in Padlet. They can choose to do those things. I will provide them if they want them, but they don't have to. It won't negatively affect their grade. Also, if a student has an excused absence because they have a doctor's appointment or any other things that are excused, then they are also excused from our daily class Padlet, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a moment. Teachers and parents, guardians need a partnership to support student success. I really need you all to help me help them. Check in with them about school. Contact me if you have questions. The more we can be a team and support your child, the more successful they'll be. Just a teeny bit about me. I live in West Sac with my husband of 11 years, Chris, and my 3-year-old son, Oliver, and I have 3 cats. I've been teaching at River City High School for 13 years, a long time. Hobbies, I like to read. I'm an English teacher, obvious. I've been getting into crosswords and like word puzzle things, which is pretty nerdy, but fitting for me. I like to be outdoors, collect lots of plants, try not to kill them. But I'm a mom of a 3-year-old. So really right now, my biggest hobbies are playing superheroes and dinosaurs and managing his meltdowns. I love to travel, but obviously travel has been really impeded on with COVID. So hopefully I can get back to that again. But in the past, I like to go to Europe, and we took Oliver to Disneyland last summer, and it was wonderful. So I can't wait to get to do things like normal again, as I'm sure all of you are feeling the same way. A little bit about me as a teacher. It might sound corny, but it is 100% true. I believe that each student has unique talents, personalities, and ways of thinking, and that's wonderful. There's only one of each of us. There's never going to be another you or another of your student, and that's really cool. So my job is not to change your student, right? They have their own personality, their own set of strengths. It's kind of like enhancing, right? Like we all want to do. So I want them to help realize their talents, abilities, and interests, and I want to push them in new ways and spark their mind to think differently so they can be the best version of themselves. So that's how I approach my job. I know that not all students love English. That's just how it goes. I didn't love math, right? But I want each student to show up and do the best they can and push their mind to think in new ways. My motto is work hard and be kind, because that's what I ask of my students. I don't ask for perfection, and I know that's not like honestly, we're not going for perfection, we're going for growth, right? So I just want every student to show up, engage with the material, put their phones away. I am enforcing the phone policy, um, and work hard so they can learn. And I promise if they do that, for one, they'll pass, and for two, they'll get something out of the class. Okay. So if we can all do that and be kind and work hard, we'll have a great year. Work hard and be kind. That is all. A way that you can help your student be successful, talk to them about what they've learned in the evenings, right? Just like engage them in conversation. What did you do in English class? What did you do in math class? Ask to see their Google Classrooms, because it's really easy for you to see if they have a missing assignment before it gets put into Aries. They have a little to-do list, so you can be like, show me your Google Classroom, and be like, hey, look at these missing assignments. Highly recommend you do that, especially if you have a student who you know tends to slack or got into that virtual learning, not engaging thing that so many students did. That's a way you can catch it before, right? Because I have to grade it in Google Classroom and then move the grade over into our online Aries gradebook. So there's some lag time there. So that's the best way for you to get that information. This is an action item if you want to do it. If you want to receive Google Classroom updates, I can add you as a parent guardian. So if you want that, please email me. In the subject line, write parent guardian invite for Google Classroom. You might already be invited, but if you're not, let me know. Include your email, your student's name, and then I will sign you up to receive notifications. How about you have your students show you their to-do list today, so you know how that works. Students, they're teenagers. They're going to try to hide sometimes. Like if they have work, they'd rather be doing something else. This is a way for you to make sure they're doing what they need to do, getting their priorities done first. So ask them to see their to-do list in Google Classroom. It's at the top. And then you can to see work assigned by your teacher, click assign. To see the missing work, click missing. And to see the work that your teacher graded, click done, right? When we all were in school, our parents could not check up on us like this. We can, so let's use it, right? Let's make sure our students are doing what they need to do. I'm going to just briefly talk about our curriculum in this class. We have 3 units. Each unit, we start with an essential question to kind of come back to as we're reading different literature. We're starting Unit 1. The essential question is, how does the past influence our present? We're going to be focusing on poetry and a play. The poetry is The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. She read this poem at the presidential inauguration. And Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. And then we'll be reading the play A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry, which is amazing. Like, I don't really know anyone who doesn't love the play. Students really get into it. I'll be teaching them poetry analysis techniques, how to determine themes in literature and compare them with other themes. And we'll be working on writing. So writing structure, how to answer a prompt, how to utilize textual evidence. So those are the skills we're working on right now. In Unit 2, it's going to be nonfiction heavy. We're going to be looking at how do writers and speakers communicate their ideas to solve problems in the modern world. We'll be looking at persuasion techniques. I'll be teaching them the terms ethos, pathos, logos. We'll be reading Declaration of Independence. You all know that one. Declaration of Sentiments, which is about women getting the right to vote and women's rights. And then we're going to be talking a lot about gender. We Should All Be Feminists is a TED Talk and an essay by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. It's very interesting. And Man Enough is a nonfiction book by Justin Baldoni. So it looks at gender from kind of both sides. And students last term really enjoyed the discussion. It was good. So I hope that students this term really enjoy it. We'll be looking at how do authors make their point, how do they achieve their purpose, how are they persuasive, and continuing to work on all of those writing skills. That's going to be throughout class, working on the writing skills. Unit 3, whose stories are heard in America and whose stories are incomplete. We're going to talk about how some stories just get more weight, right? In literature, in mainstream media. We're going to be reading Take the Tortillas Out of Your Poetry, which is by Rodolfo Anaya, about censorship in literature. There is a novel by Tommy Orange about Native Americans in Oakland, California. It's really interesting. So we'll be reading those and writing an objective summary, looking at theme and central idea, and doing some research. My class goals for students are to gain confidence in their ability to read and understand complex texts. I teach them to annotate to help them decipher texts. I want them to become more critical thinkers so they can question ideas and form their own informed opinions, because that is a huge skill for adulthood. And I really want to help them. How do you do that? How do you figure out what you think by looking at information critically? Deepen your understanding of yourself and others through readings, and improve your skill as a writer and hone your own personal voice. I really want them to figure out, who am I as a writer? How can I use the skill of writing to help me communicate my ideas? Like, take some ownership over themselves as a writer. I do Padlet warm-ups. Padlet is a website where everyone can post in real time answers to questions, and I do them thematically. So on Monday, we always listen to a song. So we do music, and they analyze the song's lyrics and theme. I'm doing a new thing with presentations. So on Tuesdays, students are going to take turns presenting to me in the class to teach about something they know well, something about their own team culture or life that they know a lot about. So it's kind of like flipping it. You teach me. So they might be teaching me about TikTok. They might be teaching me about their style or their interests. So I'm really looking forward to that. We do Wellness Wednesday, so something around the idea of being well, physical, emotional, academic, occupational, just, today we talked about habit building. So how we can be the best versions of ourselves. On Thursday, they do free writing usually, Think Outside the Box Thursday. So they write on picture prompts. And on Friday, we do an online game called Kahoot to kind of go over everything we did from the week. So it's a fun thing, and they get to compete. And I do silly little certificates for our top 5. It's not graded, but it is something to do to kind of review what we've done that week. And students usually really enjoy it. And lastly, here are some links. They're also in the email that I sent out today, to the class syllabus, the weekly class slides. I just wanted to show you this really quickly so you know. Each week in Google Classroom, I post the weekly class slides. So like can I open it? There we go. So here is this week. So you can see what I do. And you have access to this, so you can pull it up and see exactly what they're doing. I have what I think the week's gonna look like. Each day I have everything we're doing, our lesson goals and our homework, and all of the assignments, all the resources that I do, I link into it. So it's very, very clear. And you all have access to this. So make sure you use it, right? Here's what we did today. I do have a YouTube channel. Students have access to instructional videos there. I'm going to put this video on the YouTube channel. I have a website if you want to check that out, and email. So that is the presentation. I hope I didn't bore you. I tried to go as quickly as I could. Thank you so much for attending, or if you couldn't attend, taking some time out of your day to watch this video. If you have any questions, concerns, if you're here, you can write them in chat. If you're not here, please send me an email. Thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your day or night.